And how do you have 5 extra hours a day? Well, look at your screen time. It'll say 5 hours.
We were talking about this before we got started, that you have the same number of hours that somebody did 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But the average amount of time that Americans spend on screens is 8 hours at the moment. The average time that they... 8? 8. On screens, all screens. The average time they spend asleep is 6.5. So people are sleeping for 1.5 hours less than they spend their time on their phone. And
what are you getting out of it?
Well,
nothing
look,
tangible.
It's so
That's what's
hard.
crazy.
It's so hard. It's so addicting. It's designed to be addicting. I mean, you've had Tristan Harris on here. You know, the way, the variable schedule reward that tempts you, that keeps you there. You don't know what's going to happen. This is so interesting.
Yeah.
I had the guy who wrote, Stuart Russell, he wrote the original AI textbook. It's translated into 70 languages around the world. And he taught me this really interesting thing about how the algorithms work. So we know the job of the algorithm is to predict what you want to click on, right? So what it wants to do is get better at working out what Joe likes on his YouTube feed or on his Instagram feed or whatever. But there's actually 2 ways that it can become more accurate at being able to predict what you're going to click on. The first one is to be better at providing you with things that you'll select. The second one is nudging your preferences so that you are more easy to predict. Because if you just give something the optimizing function of cause Joe to click on a thing and stick about like click through and watch time, if you get it to do that, it'll just find any route. It's not bounded by, and you must make sure that it's his existing preferences. You can't change his preferences. But this is one of the reasons I think why polarization has increased. Not just that edge cases get used, it pushes people further apart, they get put off into their silos, echo chambers, recursive stuff, blah, blah, blah. I think a big part of it is just the algorithms find it easier to be able to predict you, which gives them an incentive